So I'm starting a series of experiments where I talk through case studies that more than being work I liked, it's work that worked. Let's start with what you might think is a very boring category. Batteries, specifically batteries and B2B. I mean, fuck's sake, what a Venn diagram. I want to shout out to VML for doing this work. It won an IPA award. The full paper is at the IPA's website. I hope it's okay that I attempted to summarize the key points that I thought were particularly interesting and educational for the rest of us. So let's talk about Procell. I structured this in a way that it's simple to understand. Business problem, reframed problem, how they solved it, did it work? What was the business problem? They wanted to increase market share in the battery business, and they were seen as 30% more expensive than competitors. They were targeting procurement departments but these departments typically preferred familiar and cheaper brands, which was a problem because they had lower brand awareness than Energizer. So how did they look to reframe this problem? They started by recognizing that they needed to go from the cost to buy a battery to the cost of replacing it. And they actually work out that hidden cost is 9 times bigger than the battery cost itself. And so the communications task was very simple: make the invisible cost of battery replacement as visible and as memorable as possible. They came up with a campaign called the Battery Changers. It's all about highlighting these comedic characters who represent all the wasteful labor costs that come with battery replacement. They structured the communications in 3 phases: disrupt, breaking through the apathy of procurement departments; demonstrate, dramatize, and show the extent of that problem across businesses; and then deliver by providing a savings calculator. People could start working out that actually in the long run, Procell was the cost-efficient choice. They also supplemented that with a physical battery changer doll that they sent through the mail. Remember mail? Kind of cool still, isn't it? They did a film where they enact that scenario where procurement and the accountant are trying to work out the costs in the business, and they identify that there's this battery changer cost, and what is it? And then they point to this guy wasting everyone's time. So it's quite a fun film. You can look it up. Further to that, they actually created the action doll that mirrors what the battery changer might look like. And as far as I could tell, this wasn't made with ChatGPT. It was actually produced and delivered to procurement departments. And so the real question then is, did it work? Yes, it did. They saw a 6-point increase on longer lasting perception, saw a reduction in being seen as too expensive. They saw an increase in top of mind and unaided awareness, which was also important. Be seen as the more familiar brand. And they saw year on year double-digit revenue growth and double-digit market share growth. It was great work. Kudos to VML and Procell for getting this out into the world and helping the rest of us learn how to turn what seems like a very boring problem into a memorable way of looking at that problem.